Okay, I got my ball. I got my coffee. One shot. Oh, that was pretty close, actually. For a no look, that was pretty close. All right, why am I shooting hoops right off the bat? Because it's March Madness. I hope everyone enjoyed their March. I'm going to be doing a March Madness bracket of my 16 favorite albums. If you see me looking down in the corner here, it's because that's where my iPad is, and I am scrolling through my notes as we go. So you'll notice I have 1 through 15. This is pretty well ordered, my 15 favorite albums. At the 16th seed, we're going to do a little play-in thing, and I like the idea of this play-in because it's going to set precedent for what this list is actually about, and that is entirely vibes based. So today is entirely different than what this bracket would be tomorrow or the day after, but it's just what I'm feeling today, and hopefully that makes it exciting, and that's kind of the magic of March Madness. So without further ado, let's start with the play-in. We have Rio Bodianova versus The Glow Part 2 versus Pet Sounds. Quick disclaimer, there are some non-English albums on this list that I am going to mispronounce. I'm trying my best, but sorry in advance if I get it wrong. And I'm giving it to Rio. As much as The Glow Part 2 is a legendary album, as much as Phil Elverum is a legendary artist, producer, everything creative dude, Pet Sounds and the Beach Boys also very groundbreaking artists, but today I'm feeling a little groovy. I'm feeling kind of chill, but there's some momentum to the day. I'm doing a video, I'm doing some cleaning, and I have my coffee. If you ever want to have kind of a groovy morning coffee, this album, throw it on. And not to say Phil's not the vibe today, it's just I'm really feeling Bodiku. So I did this random number generator thing, and I only did it once. This is what popped up. And so I'm going to pair them. So we have 11 versus 10, 3 versus 9, 2 versus 16, etc. So without further ado, first off, we have Neutral Milk Hotel in the Aeroplane Over the Sea versus KDD's Flood Network. And I like this one to start things off because it's a cool one. In the Aeroplane, I'm a music review guy now, apparently, so I gotta throw this one on the list. But KDD's Flood Network, if you haven't heard this album, please listen to it. I feel like it's such an underrated album. Not underrated like in the Aeroplane, but truly underrated. KDD's a really cool artist, and her album Flood Network is one of my all-time favorites, so I'm giving it to Flood Network. Okay, next we have Weather Days Come In versus Ants From Up There by Black Country New Road. I'm gonna give it to Come In my previous review / first review ever. I mentioned how Come In is one of my all-time favorite albums, and I still feel that way. But I do want to give a shout out to BCNR, Black Country New Road, because they have an album coming out, and Isaac is no longer singing with them, but I love the direction the band is going. I think Live at Bush Hall is one of my favorite live albums of all time. And yeah, whatever is coming up on their new album, Forever How Long, I think it's called, I'm really excited for, and I love the singles coming up to it. But today we're giving it to Come In. Next, we have My Bloody Valentine's Loveless versus Bodiku's Rio and Bodianova. And for all the hubbub about the play-in spot, I gotta give it to Loveless, classic shoegaze record. Okay, this next one, this is the spicy one. So we have De Todas las Flores by Natalia Lafourcade versus Sophie's Oil of Every Pearls on Insides. De Todas is my favorite album of all time, so there's that. But Sophie is such an incredible artist. She meant so much to me. I've never been impacted at an artist passing in the same way that Sophie impacted me. And I don't quite know why that is, but absolutely legendary artist. Her music continues to shape so much of the electronic music landscape. Such a pioneer, such a groundbreaking artist. And so I got to give it to her today. I'm giving it to Sophie. Okay. Rosalia, the Moto Mami herself, El Mal Querer, that's a really hard title for me to say for some reason, versus Earl Sweatshirt's Some Rap Songs. And this is a tough one. I think Some Rap Songs, though, I don't know it like unlocked something in me. It's one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time, if not my favorite. And yeah, I gotta give it to Earl Sweatshirt. As much as this album from Rosalia is groundbreaking and sets precedent for a lot of like Motomami and what I assume a lot of Rosalia's work to come is, Some Rap Songs is just, it's just one of those albums that I don't know how to describe it. It's just on another level. Incredible album. Next we have Björk Vespertine versus Windswept Adan. I hope I'm saying that correctly, by Ichiko Eoba. These two albums, they scratch a slightly similar itch, although I don't want to offend anyone by saying that. I love both of these albums, but Vespertine is like life-changing. And so I got to give it to Björk. Okay, next we have Joni Mitchell's Blue versus Sinner Get Ready. And I got to give it to Joni Mitchell. I think today, I don't know why, I'm leaning more into like the artist themselves. Joni Mitchell, Canadian artist, songwriter, one of the best songwriters of all time. And Blue is such an incredible album. Sort of, in my opinion, Joni at her absolute peak. Love that album. Love that album. So I'm gonna give it to Blue. And then we have Hopalong's Bark Your Head Off Dog versus The Knife's Shaking the Habitual. Bark Your Head Off Dog, another, I feel, underrated album. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to give it to Bark Your Head Off. If you haven't heard this album before, please listen. Listen to Hopalong. Oh my God. Like, I don't know too many people that know Hopalong, but sort of this rocky, folky, indie sort of vibe, but just songwriting wise, whew. Just incredible songwriting and a cohesive album, absolutely no skips. Okay, so this is what the bracket looks like now as we move into the Elite 8. Flood Network versus Come In. Oof, I gotta give it to Come In. I just love that album so much, can't get enough of it. And then we have Oil versus Loveless, and damn, I gotta stick with the logic of why Sophie beat De Todas, and so Sophie has to beat My Bloody Valentine. Damn, this is the Cinderella story for Sophie. Vespertine versus Some Rap Songs. Totally. I get completely different things out of these two albums, but again, Vespertine is just such a special album for me, and Björk is such a special artist. I gotta give it to Vespertine, even though I love Some Rap Songs. And then Blue versus Bark Your Head Off Dog. Sticking with the sort of like Sophie logic, Joni Mitchell is such a special artist. I don't know if there's a direct influence here, but I feel like Joni Mitchell is at the core of whatever I like about Bark Your Head Off Dog. All right, now we're at the final four, and you can see my bracket is looking really janky. We have Come In versus Oil. We're feeling the artist today. We're taking a step behind the albums themselves and just really digging into what these artists mean to me. And for that reason, Sophie is going to face off against, and then Björk versus Joni Mitchell. Oh my God. Two incredible artists. This is almost impossible. I'm going to give it to Joni Mitchell. Björk and Joni Mitchell are both absolute legends. But I got to represent my Canadian artist here. So we're going to have Sophie versus Joni Mitchell for the top spot. You know, Joni Mitchell is just such a special artist, such a groundbreaking singer-songwriter, and a Canadian artist at that. So I'm going to give it to Blue. I recently got this album on vinyl too, so there might be a bit of recency bias here. But man, this album is truly incredible. If you are a songwriter, listen to Joni Mitchell. So much of the best songwriters you hear today have been influenced by her work. A true poet, a true creative, a true artist, and Blue is one of the great artists of all time at her absolute peak, in my opinion. So Blue is going to take it. Congratulations, Joni Mitchell. And that's my March Madness bracket. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.